A treasured character was lost in a tragic moment of self-sacrifice, and as a result, I and many members of the community have lost not just a fictional character, but a friend. I speak, of course, of none other than Gideon Jura, an amazing teammate, a humble man, a loyal soldier. A man who was invulnerable in every aspect, but did his best to protect the innocent and those he held closest. The desire to protect was his undoing in the end. We should all seek to be more like Kithy and Iora. Someone valiant, someone stronger, someone brave, willing to become Gideon Jura. Hello everyone, my name is Trapixium, and you may be asking yourself, after hearing all those words, why are you mourning a fictional character? He isn't real. Well, in order to answer that question, I would like to answer a bigger question. Why does Vorthos matter? At all? You see, this question rears its head every now and then, especially after last week when Gideon died saving Liliana. This question has a lot of layers to it. In order to answer it, I'm going to have to break this video down a bit. You'll see as the video goes by what I mean. Let's get into it.
Magic was conceptualized in 1991 and released in 1993 after 2 years of development under doctoral candidate Richard Garfield at the University of Pennsylvania. During this period of game testing, these were the playtest cards. Now, in terms of practicality, these are basic trading cards: name, cost, effect, basic description. This is a magic card. Well, this was a magic card. These cards are rudimentary in terms of what they provide and apply very little to the imagination. Wizards of the Coast did their best to conceptualize a story for this trading card game from the beginning, starting with the first expansion, Arabian Nights, based off half Sandman number 50 and half the Book of 1001 Nights. This was the first attempt at trying to tell a story using trading card games, and it was good practice for the next set, Antiquities. In March of 1994, Antiquities released, no more than 2.5 months after Arabian Nights. Antiquities marked the beginning of a story that lasted almost 6 years. Well, why does this matter? Simple. The Magic story has lasted about as long as the game itself. Remember the dates. Released in August 1993, Arabian Nights, December of that year, Antiquities, 2.5 months later. For about as long as the game has existed, there's always been a story to tell, whether it be its own or a mix of another. For as long as there have been Spikes, Johnnies, Timmies, there's been Vorthos. Let's talk about the Magic card itself. A Magic card looks like this. Now, this is the playtest card. If you recall prior, I said the playtest cards are practical trading cards. Let's take away the bits that would be considered flavor. Well, that knocks it back down to what the playtest cards were. Do you notice something missing? Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Magic card. It looks like a trading card, not a Magic card. This brings me to my next point. In order for Magic to be, magic, it doesn't want the flavor, it needs it. Look at it. You can barely tell this is a bolt. The only reason we know it's a bolt is because everyone knows that ability and casting cost. Since Vorthos has been around since Magic's inception, we all have been exposed to it, so to speak. And now we know Magic's flavor as a familiarity. It's card association at its finest. Alright, so it's in the cards and it's in Magic's history. What else is it in? Well, let's take a moment to compare Magic to another trading card game. One of the big three. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is another trading card game that features flavor text. However, Yu-Gi-Oh's flavor text is only featured in vanilla creatures. Now, there is one other difference between the two. Yu-Gi-Oh's only describes the creature that is on the card, whereas Magic's doesn't just describe the creature, it describes what it does and what it's capable of. If I wanted to tell you what a Siege Behemoth does, just read the flavor text and I think you get a decent idea of what it's capable of. The fact that Yu-Gi-Oh's flavor text is so limited, it only describes creatures, whereas Magic's flavor text describes any type of permanent and gives you a sense of immersion. And immersion, as anyone watching this video knows, from playing a video game or watching a movie or TV show would know, immersion is important. Magic specifically is of considerable measure because it doesn't rely on an add-on like a TV show or movie like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon does. It creates an additional layer of connection that keeps our brain's attention for longer periods, via flavor text about as long as a tweet. Most people can memorize them. Alright, so quick exercise. Close your eyes. Guess the flavor text these cards belong to. Hans, run! It's a Lurgoyf! Okay, that's a bit of an easy one. Let's try a bit of a harder one. She will come back to me. Upon discovering what had become of her sisters, Sigarda could only weep. You burn, I'll pillage. It was probably a lousy spell in the first place. The Spark Mage shrieked, calling on the rage and storms of his youth. To his surprise, the sky responded with a fierce energy he'd never thought to see again. Alright, that's enough. At one point or another, you may have heard some of these bits of text, and they may have lodged themselves in your head. If not, the past few minutes have been pointless, and so I'll be frank. To others, this text means a great deal. Some of these embody an aspect of the game itself. My point of all this draws back to the notion that flavor text is a powerful tool. It is so ironclad that just by referencing a bit of flavor, some can call back specific cards. Can I just take a minute to say that is friggin' awesome? Alright, so why does this matter? Well, think about it for a second. How common is that in other trading card games? The answer is a very distinctive, very much. Many card games use it. However, the one game that popularized it in the genre was Magic. Not only was Magic the first to use it for the purpose of world building, it was also WotC themselves that popularized the term flavor text. Well, with that all being said, let's trail this all back to Gideon. Specifically, the eulogy I gave at the beginning of this video. Gideon has been around since Rise of the Eldrazi, about 9 years. That's a reasonably long period of time for a Magic character, and as the old adage goes, familiarity makes the heart grow fonder. A lot of people love Gideon for a number of reasons. He was always depicted as I said above, an amazing teammate, a humble man, a loyal soldier. These are admirable qualities. If Gideon saw someone in trouble, he helped them and asked for nothing in return. People could identify with Gideon and say what you want about him, but when he died, I know people who cried, sobbed, and mourned his death as though he were a real person. I think by now you see my point. These stories can elicit a powerful emotional response. People can identify with these characters, they relate to them, and can grow to be more than just pieces of art on cardboard. So, in summation, the Magic story and the concept of Vorthos has been around since Magic's inception back in 1993, and it isn't just an aspect of the game, it's a part of the card design, and it's even in the player's mind to some extent. Magic itself is a game that makes people think through its gameplay. But where the gameplay and statistics draw the mind, the Magic story and flavor text draws the soul. It can draw strong emotions, whether it be that of happiness, hope, desire, despair, or even out-and-out grief. Some may view the idea of Vorthos as superfluous and its examination moot. However, in the same way a brewer investigates a combo piece, the analysis of lore is just as necessary. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And let's have a conversation about this on Twitter and in the Discord server. Links for both are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you want to revel with me and Xenagos, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, may the Lotus watch over you.